just wanna be her. For your mom to your pop to the bees to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. I said you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. I pissed frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ride it. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bump it. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what?
We are just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Seattle Seahawks. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk first down.
First down, Seahawks.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 11 yards there, first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because Most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Strip that ball. Watch safety green. Watch safety green.
Here's Carson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down.
It's going to be a long day.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. We documented it last week. They played so well defensively. 4 interceptions. Tried to get their hands on another one there.
And when you've had 4 the previous week, you are just itching for more the very next week. And there was a great opportunity. It went by the wayside, but let's not underscore what's going on with this defensive unit. They are around the ball every time it's being put in the air.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will start their initial drive at their own 20-yard line. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hurry! 3 down. Hey, check Mike.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Hurry! Show it. Pistol.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Able to find Harris, complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. The first carry for C.J. Prosise. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because...
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
A gain of 3, 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. From the gun, Mayfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This is taken at his 4. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
First down. First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Check three, check three, check three. Real. What's that? Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Point it right. He's checking. Crash.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Watch the screen. Switch. Real. Kings. Undercut. Hurry.
They give the Chubb out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check 24.
From the 35 on second down, Mayfield. And he'll find Hall. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Mayfield. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it's second down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Brings up third down.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches.
4 down. Back. Watch the shift. Hey, watch the shift. Watch that.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. That good for 22 and a first down.
The Browns opted not to pick a running back with their first 2 selections at number 1 and 4 in the first round. But they circled back in the second round and got a really good one to Nick Chubb out of Georgia. Broke off a nice run there, and that's where he's good. Good vision, able to see where the hole is, and make nice gains each time he touches the ball.
On first down, Hilliard. He takes it to the 15. A nice display of power. That gives him a nice pickup. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Seahawks 15-yard line.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
You gonna see me in your nightmares.
57's Mike 57.
Now a give, right side. Hilliard. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 yards there, first down.
The running game's played a huge part in getting him down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
Mike's 54.
They'll run with Chubb. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check.
On second down now, Hilliard, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Loss of 2 on the play. It's 3rd down and goal to go.
They come out here in the eye. The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, Parker, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2 for 1 without ever even giving up the football. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Here's Wilson.
Time to give a little credit here. That was it.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry.
You're trailing. You're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with.
Watch the curve. Watch the curve. Check. Lucky. 57 to Mike. I'm coming. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Check.
A run for Nick Chubb. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
All day, dog. Hurry. Hurry!
On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. It's brought in by Harris. And with 1 second left, they get the timeout, and they'll have a chance to kick the field goal before intermission. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. Seibert able to knock this one through. And that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Mayfield to throw it this time. Buying time to his left. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. He's scared. Mike 50. Mike 50.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that will be incomplete. Now, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session. But, Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 6th touchdown of the season, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Let's go, D. Let's go.
49, check 49, check 49. Run. Hey, alert 33.
Now Mayfield. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hall. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Mayfield, he sets to fire deep. And the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
50 seconds to Mike. Let's get the ball.
Pistol.
Under 10. 10.
Mayfield looks to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb, and he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Mayfield now toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. Can this defense hold him out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. Now Mayfield on 4th down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. That's Ziggy Ansah, the number 5 pick in 2013, credited with a sack. And they've now made 2 trips to the red zone and still looking for their first touchdown.
Not able to punch it in, and if you're on defense, your confidence is sky high. Because mentally, you're saying, hey, you're in the red zone. We're thinking we're giving up 3. We just want to give up 6. In this case, they end up not giving up the touchdown at all. They've got to feel great about what they got done.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as he'll drop him for a loss of 4. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything. But in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways to try and move the ball, because keeping on the ground just isn't working for them.
Yeah, maybe get him the ball out of the passing game. A swing pass outside or something, just something to vary it up. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And for the Browns, a nickel set here on third down. To throw is Wilson. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Watch the out. Watch the out. Out.
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Second and 5 at the 11-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56.
Now a give, right side. Hilliard, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check 56. Hey, I'm coming. Real. Mike 56.
Hey, Mike 7.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. Mike 56. Mike.
Pistol.
It's our field.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mayfield. And he finds Seals Jones complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Mayfield now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Point it right. Point it right. Check hot route.
Chubb. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
Mike's 50.
Run. Not that.
Here we go, 50.
Hurry! Exit. Hey, check. Mike 50, Mike. Hey, wahoo! Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Regular. Hurry!
Now Chubb. And he's got some space here. 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Well, they had done a really nice job on him through 3 quarters plus, but you just had that feeling eventually he was going to get loose.
And this is why coaches always preach that it's a 4-quarter game, right? It gets trite for us. It gets trite for the fans. This is exactly what they're talking about. What you did before was terrific, but will it stand up if you start giving up big plays as we saw there?
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that makes this a 9-point game. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Big Sears right here.
To throw again. Wilson. Flushed out right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Mike 44.
Now Wilson on first down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
At the 46-yard line.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson eluding the pressure right. And some room to work. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He finds Ursua. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. They'll run on first down. Carson. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd and 2, Wilson. Open man is Ursua. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Check. Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. 56.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Jannard Avery coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Wilson dancing to his left. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Wilson, operating from the gun. He hits his running back, Crosice. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. A great job to hold him to just a yard there. Now it's 4th and goal. So a field goal gets you back within a score, but they're going to go for the bigger chunk here. Kicking team on the sidelines. Offense on for 4th down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it. 36, 36.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Big ass, big ass, big ass.
Cut.
They run it again with Chubb. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Set. 180.
Black spot 4. Coming to you, coming to you.
On first down, Hilliard. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And that'll set them back 5.
Good. 180. 56. Comes left. Rush in. Rush in. Rush in.
Following the penalty, Chubb. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. The Browns on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 16.
Hurry.
Ringo. 56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
And again, it's Chubb. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. Here's Jamie Gillendow as he's on to punt for Cleveland. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line.
Throw is pussy.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Throwing now is Wilson. He's got the hook up to Jerron Brown. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Browns, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Seattle, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.